Hello, everybody. When you join us every week for the Late Tea Time podcast, we are very much focused on the events of the week, trying to find the best bets for you. And we say, coming to you as late as possible. I am James, as always. Alongside me in the room, same room as me today for this chat, is Dave Tindall. And Dave, when we started doing the Late Tea Time podcast, one of the things we did is we made it a conscious effort to come as late as possible in the week to try and get a little bit more information, because most other previews for golf tournaments are written on a Monday or a Tuesday morning, and it's a long time till Thursday. A lot happens in the interim, and we try and prey upon that fresh information.
Yeah, obviously I write previews myself that have got to be given for Monday or Tuesday deadlines, and suddenly you'll get to Wednesday and you'll go, oh, it's really raining. Or
I wish I'd known that.
Yeah, if only I'd known that. Oh, I found out he went to college there, or it's going to be disrupted, or the rough is a lot longer than it was predicted to be. So rather than trying to rush it out so people have more time to listen, we thought, well, why not wait till as near as possible to the off when we get this, as you say, fresh information. I remember probably the best example was Bryson DeChambeau when he won the US Open. And it was played at Winged Foot, and we didn't really know. We knew some history of the course, but we didn't know how he might tackle it. And he came out in his press conference on the Wednesday and just said, I'm just going to whack it as far as I can, hit it into and just knock it out of the rough. That's my strategy. And he had a real focus on his strategy. And we thought, that sounds kind of feasible for him. It sounds viable.
And that's exactly what he did, wasn't it? He whacked it as far as he could.
Smashed it further than anyone else. Decided, I'll just take my chance out of the rough because I'm not much nearer the green. I can play out with shorter clubs. Won at 20-1. So, and we wouldn't have known that before had we done that podcast on a Monday.
We've had a few good wins over a couple of years we've been doing this now. The one that I always think back to is Stuart Sink. And you came up with an ingenious piece of information on Stuart Sink that if he did okay in a major, he tended to do okay the week after.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. He'd won certain golf tournaments, and I looked at them, and they all seemed to be the week after a major. So I thought, oh, right, do we then just back him?
Yeah.
But why those particular weeks? And then I checked back how he'd played in the major that had preceded it, and he'd always played pretty well. So was it 2021 or 22? So we backed him to win at Hilton Head the week after he'd had a good Masters, and he just pillar to post ran away with it at 125-1.
Yeah, which was a decent enough price, to bag. So Stuart Sink, if you're watching, thank you very much for your work that week and for your family, because it was very much a family affair, if I remember rightly, that week, with sons on the bag and the family around the green. One of the things that I always think about with the Late Tea Time podcast is your little way in of proximity to the course. So I either went to college next door, was born next door, and therefore grew up playing this course on a regular basis. And the amount of times we found a name that isn't necessarily a household name, but DT has found they went to college there, or they grew up there, or their best mate plays there, so they used to holiday there all the time. It's a way in that very few other people, I think, have ever really found.
Yeah, it's we've had some success, didn't we? Is it Marty Do? Do you remember that one? When we found out that he lived in Texas, a Chinese guy, and you wouldn't have known that, would you? I mean, he could have set up his US base anywhere, really, but not only was it in Texas, it was right by that course. And he was a huge price, wasn't he? Like 500-1 or something?
And Marty did.
Yeah, and so we backed him in. Sometimes you can get too giddy about that bit of information, go, right, let's back him to win. But we often say, don't we, okay, let's back him top 20 or top 30, even top 10, just to make sure that we do cash in on that information and not, he finishes 11th. He's had a great week and we've not cashed in at all. So play to different markets when you get those big outsides. But it is a profitable source. And often they do interview sort of a local player. So if you keep your eye on the interviews that are done quite late, again on the Wednesday before the tournament, they kind of do the research for you because the writers have found a local angle. So we've done well on that one. It's one we shall continue to profit from, hopefully.
Preyed upon it, and we will continue to do so. One of the other things I think as well is the kind of that term betting value, because I mean in recent weeks, if you were going to back the favourite, you probably landed most of the time because Scottish Sheffler's been winning, hasn't he, at stupid short prices. But generally speaking, it's not the favourites that always win. And kind of your job, or any kind of pundit's job, is to try and work out what price resembles value, what price resembles success. You know, backing somebody to win at 40 to 1 when you can get somebody else that's probably got the same chances at 80 to 1. It's finding the bigger price. It doesn't always land. Betting doesn't. Gamble responsibly, everybody, but it's kind of working out, using your wisdom, using your expertise, using what you know, and if that price looks too big, it's worth having.
Yeah, absolutely. Always got to look for the value in golf. And other things can determine the value. If the weather turns, you've got like a bank of golfers in your head that, well, we know they grew up in Ireland or Scotland.
Yeah.
They're used to these windy conditions. So again, it's taking advantage of that late information, and the weather is a classic one, isn't it? That it can just turn. I mean, you can look ahead on Monday, and it's going to be quite a nice week, and by Wednesday, thunderstorms. So yeah, another reason why it pays just to hold your horses a little bit and play the waiting game. Finally,
Late Tea Time Podders, thank you for watching and listening, because our numbers are going up all the time, and that's really gratifying for us. Your comments that come through to me and DT every single week, you put your own tips up, you make your comments, then you live that tournament almost with us, and we get comments on the Sunday evening, oh, we got so close, like just this last week, your 8 to 1 ACCA nearly landed, but apart from a crazy put by Scottish Sheffler and a miss put by Victor Hovland, it didn't quite come in at 8 to 1. And then we had a number of messages, oh, how close. And I think that's always really nice when you know that people are watching and people are taking it in the right spirits. And so thank you very much indeed for your eyes and your ears on the Late Tea Time podcast. Long may that continue. And as you can see, I mean, we're doing a few different things as we go through the coming year. A few little extras, if you like, that are going to be on the lateteatime.com website, because we've set that up now. I'm going to have a few little bells and whistles on there, including some videos like this. So stay tuned, everybody. Thank you to manscaped.com for their support of the Late Tea Time podcast. If you like what you see on manscaped.com, quote late when you check out, and you can get 20% off and you can get free shipping. From me and DT, though, for now, we'll see you next time.
Forever you and me, right by my side's where you ought to be. 'Cause if I ever were to lose you, I just don't know what I'd do. Let me hear you now.